What's up, everybody? This is Mike and Pete. So many shows, so many shows.com, so many mashups. This is a week 16 NFL mashup, but I just want to say I hate the NFL and I hate everybody. What's up, Mike?
Well, I don't hate the NFL and I don't hate everybody, so I'm having a good weekend. I know your week's been kind of hitting you where it counts pretty much all week, but
No,
mine has been pretty decent.
it's been a shitty week. On top of that, like just being you think shitty weeks happen, it is what it is. But on top of that, like these NFL games are just how I mean, come on, man, how rigged can you be? Like either
Hmm.
way, let's just get right into it. Did you see the Seattle game on Thursday?
Yes, I watched through it to the third quarter, and unfortunately, I had to turn it off because I had to get some sleep because I had to work Friday mornings. So I wasn't able to watch the whole game like I was hoping to, but because
No,
we were
between
having
Thursday and
some weather.
Friday, I worked 32 hours. And when I got home Thursday night, I was like, oh, it's 30 to 14 Rams. Let me just, put on, something else in the background, a movie, and go to sleep because, the game's not even close and I'm exhausted. I have to be up in the morning, had like
Yep.
a 5 hour turnaround or whatever. Like fell asleep for a little bit, woke up again, right? Like I had, you like when you get home, you just lay down, you get that first little nap, and then you get up being like, okay, let me go, grab this, grab my laundry, make lunch for tomorrow. I
Yep.
look at the score and it's like OT 30-30, and it's like, oh, okay, it's overtime now. And I'm like, I'm so tired that even if I put the game on, I wouldn't be able to enjoy it because I couldn't focus.
Yeah.
So I kind of just left it on the background. I saw the score, I saw the Rams scored, then I saw the Seahawks had the ball, and I'm like, all right. Then I'm like, yo, if they score, they might go for two because the Seahawks are crazy because they had already converted two-point conversions, and you don't want to tie. You want to go for the win. I know that I like that coach in Seattle, so they ended up. There was a crazy play. Did you see that crazy play though on the other 2-point conversion where they threw the ball sideways and it went backwards, and the Rams guy touched it, and it was live and fell in the end zone, and the Seahawks guy picked it up because it was just like, oh, here you go, rough, and they called it a touchdown, a 2-point conversion.
Heard about it. I didn't. I don't think I brought up the play. I was going to bring up the play Friday when I was riding around because my truck was in the shop, so I was riding with the other driver, and I forgot to do it. I was going to bring it up this weekend. I totally lost track. So yeah, but
Backwards
I heard
pass
about it.
that got touched in the air, which just interesting call. The Seahawks took that game 38-37, and I think they're now the one seed in that conference. I'm not sure because like a lot of things happened this
Yes.
weekend.
Yep.
We got two games on Saturday, which was yesterday. The Eagles took care of business against the Commanders,
Yep.
and the Packers and Bears actually had an interesting game in their own where the Bears were also down and needed to like score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, recover an onside kick, and then they scored the touchdown. So just like just craziness, things like just weird days in the NFL. Like I was watching the game with my buddy today, and they were like, oh, the field goal line was the 50-yard line. They have to get
Hmm.
to the 50 to kick a field goal, and I'm like, what NFL are we in where like a 67-yard field goal is normal? Like remember what we
Yeah.
talked about last time? Like a 43 in the wind used to be like impossible to make.
Exactly. Now
They used to
it's.
have high cut grass in stadiums. Now everything's turf or dome or. And then
Yep.
I also heard actually before we go away to the Sunday games, I don't know if you heard about this, but the Bears Packers game was miserable, freezing because Chicago's cold, especially on a Saturday night in December. Supposedly the heaters on the Bears sideline were working just fine, but the Packers ones in the second quarter with like 4 minutes left just magically stopped working.
Yep. I heard
And
about that.
Tony Romo, I believe was it Tony Romo on commentary?
It was on
It,
Fox. I think it was Brady.
Okay, it was Brady then. Brady said that listen, he goes, I've been in the NFL for a long time. These things are not coincidences, basically implying that it gets done on purpose. And we
Hmm.
know that because we remember like teams would paint the visiting locker room pink to get inside people's heads, and they make the showers not work or turn off the hot water in your section or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. We've seen people get the flu from eating in other. Like I don't even think they eat in other people's establishments anymore. I think they bring their own food on the road now.
Yeah, probably. Or I wouldn't be surprised, I should say.
So like this stuff has been going on forever, but it's just more noticeable now because we have more technology to exploit it. So
Yeah, exactly. It's
and
just crazy how that works, though. It's like just make it a fair game. But I know home field advantage, whatever, blah blah.
the
But
Lions currently have the ball at the Pittsburgh 26 down five with a minute 19 left. We'll keep an eye on that for you
ooh,
guys.
getting close.
Yeah, I lost my coverage. I watched the red zone, and they're like, "Oh, if it's the last game left, then you have to go to your local coverage." And I don't feel like going through all my apps to get to the one app that has that. So yeah, that's what I get for cutting cable. Falcons beat the Cardinals in a game that was actually rather entertaining. Ashton Genty showed that you can run all over the Texans, which he did. However, they still lost 23-21. The Texans at 10-5, holding strong for that conference division and maybe possibly number one seed. Speaking of number one seeds, the Jaguars made a giant step forward, defeating the Broncos.
Yep.
They now go to 11-4, 11-4, and if the Jaguars can win the next three games and the Broncos, I think, lose one, another team loses one, Or the Patriots lose another one, the Jaguars could be the number one seed in the conference, which is scary.
Oh
They
wow.
they destroyed the Broncos today. It wasn't even close. The Bills and Browns, I had Garrett to get 2 sacks for the sack record. He did not get it. The Bills won 23-20, didn't cover, but won the game. Bills also 11-4. That AFC is just interesting. Chargers also 11-4, beat the Cowboys 34-17, who were eliminated before the game even started from playoff contention is in the Cowboys.
Yep.
My pick of the week, which happened to win me like $6 on DraftKings, I bet three, was the Titans over the Chiefs. I didn't see the backup quarterback for the Chiefs versus the Titans who want to win the game. They're not worried about a draft pick. They're worried about winning games for their coach, who's coaching his ass off as the interim coach, and they're
Yep.
getting better. And the Titans are trying to play together to see. Everybody's it's a job interview for most of these guys in the Titans because they're going to clean house, so they got to play hard.
Exactly.
And I know we don't really do much injury corner because it's hard to keep up with everything right after the fact. But Minshew tore his ACL,
Yep. So now they're down to a third stringer. I have that
and
in
that
my injury corner. So yes.
and that guy's name was not even I couldn't even explain. It was like XLA or whatever the third string quarterback was for them.
Yeah. Chris Alodekin, former seventh round pick who's been on the Chiefs practice squad since 22. Played the bulk of the game as expected. The Chiefs attempted to lean on the running game with the third string quarterback in the game, but as all season, KC's ground attack couldn't find traction, only 51 yards on 15 attempts. Alodekin peppered a few nice throws out of the structure of the offense, but he was mostly relegated to short tosses. The 28-year-old went 11 of 16 for 111 yards, and with the Chiefs out of postseason contention, he's most likely in line to make his first career start for KC on Christmas Day against Denver. Now that is interesting because it's basically putting a lamb out to the slaughter here because boy, that
I'm
could
gonna make
be
a bold prediction here.
ugly.
Cam Newton was hooting and hollering when Philip Rivers got signed by the Colts. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't pick up someone like a Cam Newton
Oh,
and
okay.
just to start him for a couple of weeks and just if he fits the offense or he can run, show that he still has some athleticism. And because you start getting with third string quarterbacks and fourth string quarterbacks, that like you said, lambs to the slaughter is right. At least Philip Rivers, like if you watch his game from last week, he knew when to fall, he knew when to get rid of the ball, he knew not to take too many hits.
Yep.
Lions are second and goal on the Pittsburgh 9 with 16 seconds left.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, the Bengals continue to start Joe Burrow. They win 45-21. Do you think starting Joe Burrow is a smart play for the Bengals at this point or no?
Yes, because obviously you want to try to win games. You have the quarterback, you have receivers, you got a running back that you can count on. So they don't have to fill those needs by upping their draft position, whatever. So, I mean, Joe Burrow missed most of the year, so just keep him loose, keep him fresh. Maybe they can start rebuilding that offensive
Now, what
line in
if
the
next
off
week he gets
season.
smashed and gets injured again? You
Part of the
know,
game.
yeah, but when you're not in contention, the whole see, here's the argument there. Your goal is to win the Super Bowl. Once you're out of Super Bowl contention, you should be, packing in your money players, your million billion dollar players. However,
That's
here's the
true.
problem. Here's the problem. You're a Bengals fan, right? So for you, perfect example, you're a Vikings fan,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
So now you say, oh, let's see, who did the Vikings play today? I know they beat the Giants
Giants.
16-13. So let's see. I want to see something just to prove my point. Who the Vikings play next week? So the
Play the
Vikings
Lions
play the Lions, right? Okay?
Christmas
They're
Day.
home and they're
Yep.
home.
Yeah, and they're home Christmas
S-
Day.
So now you're a Vikings fan, right? And you think the Vikings are really good and have a chance to win the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
It's week one. It's week one. You buy tickets. You want to see, your your star team, your star quarterback, your Justin Jefferson. You want to see these big games. You paid a lot of money for this Christmas Day ticket,
Yep.
and you get there and they say, "Oh well, McCarthy's good, but we're out of the playoffs, so we're gonna start Brewster."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna be pissed as a fan that paid $300 for that seat to go see McCarthy. So I think it's not the right move, but I think they're doing what they think is right by the fans in starting Barrow because now you go get to see Chase and Barrow and Higgins and all these guys you like, and
Hmm.
you win football games and you talk shit. Oh, if we didn't weren't injured with Joe Burrow, we would have won all these games. Blah 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 blah. Blah.
Yeah.
Even though it's not the right move.
But
So yeah,
injury corner will I'll cover something about the McCarthy situation as well, but we'll get to that
he got
soon.
rocked. He got rocked
Yes.
at that one play when he went out. He got fucking rocked, bro. Like,
Yes, he
wow.
did.
Saints destroyed the Jets 29-6. The Jets continue to drop themselves lower and lower with a high draft pick. Let's hope they don't screw it up, even though rumor is going to trade 4 first-round picks for Joe Burrow. I hate the Carolina Panthers who beat the Bucks 23-20 on some bullshit. Oh yeah, I had the Bucks in a parlay on DraftKings. It was for a couple of bucks, but I'm just tired of the Panthers screwing me all season. I swear to God, there's ever team I hope loses so bad in the first round is the Panthers. I hate them so much, like football-wise. And yeah, I think that the 49ers play the Colts. I think Philip Rivers is going to get smashed now that there's film on him of what he can and can't do. The Rob Sala is going to destroy that guy. I thought it was interesting that the Patriots tonight at 11-3 are playing at Baltimore and they're 3-point underdogs. What do you think about that?
That's crazy to me. I mean, the Patriots have shown all season long that they have the defense to stick with most teams, and they got enough offense to win against a lot of teams. So, and the Ravens have been kind of up and down, even when Lamar was healthy and in the games. These last couple of weeks, I think it's been up and down.
And that's my point. A
So
seven
yeah,
and seven Ravens team is going to be given 3 points to 11-3 Patriots team in Week 16 of the NFL.
yeah,
Which it's
crazy.
wacky. It doesn't, anybody can beat anybody on any given. It's ridiculous. Like literally, they just do it on purpose at this point. I don't care what anybody says. And we're at 4th and goal here. Lions at the
Ooh, fourth and
Pittsburgh
goal.
9, from what I see on my tracker. So we're gonna get close. You want to get into injury corner while we keep an eye on that?
Yeah. So the big news from Thursday night's game. No, sorry, last night's game. Thursday night there wasn't anything. Last night's game, we Jordan Love sustained a concussion and is in concussion protocol after sustaining a helmet-to-helmet hit during Saturday's loss to the Bears. I think he was put out in like the second or third quarter, somewhere around there, if I'm not mistaken. I was watching the game, I just can't remember. The backup looked pretty good, Willis, but just didn't get have enough to oomph to get kill the clock against the Bears. So, anyways, so the other news from the Vikings game, so you said it earlier, JJ McCarthy was sacked on a play, hurt his throwing hand. They don't have any solid answers on what it is, so they're going to undergo further evaluation to find out the extent of the injury and how much time he's out for. So if that's the case, then Max Brosmer will be getting another start next week against the Lions at home. But the Lions, seeing that what happens here in these last few seconds, we'll have to find out if the Lions are still playing for a playoff spot or not.
They might not be because they just lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-24. The 4th down conversion did not work out very well for them, so it is over.
Wow. Okay. So maybe the Lions, I don't know if the Lions, even if the Lions win out, actually, if they win out and the Packers lose out, I think the Lions
Yeah,
would
they need a
still
lot of
get a
help.
spot. Yeah.
This hurt them. I mean, Pittsburgh outplayed them the whole game, so you can't really say much about, that it wasn't fair. The Lions kept themselves close and gave themselves a chance at the end, but that was Pittsburgh games to win. And now you got to understand too, at 8-6, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Aaron Rodgers, was he really done? Or is the New York Football Jets, just the
Yep.
worst place ever to play and just a curse on football itself and just not good for anybody's career ever. And why would anybody want to go there ever? And
Yep.
I don't know. I must have jinxed my team really good a long, long time ago because it just gets worse and worse for us. You're thinking, oh, good luck, Pittsburgh. And now here they are.
Yeah. Well, let's see other injuries from today. Cleveland Browns rookie running back Quinshawn Judkins' leg was ruled out against Buffalo. He was carted off the field during the game with his right leg immobilized in
I
an air
heard he had
tag.
I heard he had 2 different injuries on one play. Like they
Oh,
snapped
wow.
his like fibula and his like kneecap got this
Oh, shoot.
located on like the
Yeah,
same
it's right
play.
here. Stefanski told reporters after the game that he dislocated his ankle and suffered a fractured fibula. So he'll be out the rest of the season, and
No,
we
that
wish
stinks
him the
because even
best.
when you go home, when you're doing rehab, it's just that much harder to walk because you have to rebuild 2 different parts of your body. I feel so bad for him. So hopefully he recovers
Exactly.
well and he gets back out there.
I agree. I mean, the kid was proving himself all season long, even against, good defenses. He'd still have a good game. But during today's game, Josh Allen was cleared to return after x-rays on his foot during halftime. Proved nothing was seriously wrong with that. So hopefully, Josh Allen, if he just got banged up a little bit, hopefully he heals up well enough to continue the run for the Bills getting into the playoffs here. Let's see here. For the Cardinals, linebacker Josh Sweat was questionable to return against Atlanta, so I don't think he got back in there. So
Yeah, like I said,
yeah,
there was some big ones this week. Quarterbacks going down. That's
Yep.
never good. Some people just had horrible stats. The Jets haven't got an interception all season or something like that. It's some weird stat that I was looking at. And Jackson Dart didn't complete his first pass to like under 2 minutes in the second quarter. So there was a lot of little food for thought. There was a catch in the Pittsburgh game. I don't know if you get to see it, where Gainwell was covered by the linebacker, and like the linebacker pulled him down, and he fell. He
Yes.
as he was on the floor, the ball landed in his hands, and he got back up and started running because no one touched him, and it was a
Yes.
touchdown.
I
Now
saw
let me
that
tell
play.
you. Now people always ask me, how can the NFL be rigged? And I'm going to tell you how the NFL could be rigged. Because I'm pretty sure if they would have called that under 2 minutes, an incomplete pass, you nothing you could do about it. It's just a dead ball, and that's it. It's the end of it. But because they ruled it a touchdown, you can review it just to make sure and confirm everything.
Oh,
So that's why there's some weird rules. Don't quote me on that, but there's some weird rules like that out there in the NFL where, like, if they rule it an incomplete pass under a certain amount, it's just dead, and you can't argue it. So
yep.
if they really wanted to take points off the board for Pittsburgh at that point in time, I believe they could have. So good for them to review and say, you know what, even if we're not really sure, let's just rule it a touchdown and we can review it to make sure. And it ended up being a touchdown and probably what I think might be the catch of the year.
Yes, I agree. There's been some really good catches, especially by what's his name from the Lions, Tesla. He's had some really
Yeah.
cool one-handed catches, but this one to be on the ground and catch it, I don't know if you said it, it reminded me of that Packer. Who was the Packer that caught the ball off the ground and continued to run?
Yeah, I forgot who you're talking about. Yeah.
I forgot. It was back in the Brett Favre days. But anyways, great catch by Gainwell today. And like you said, if it was ruled incomplete, they wouldn't have been able to challenge it or whatever. Or if even if they challenged it, they wouldn't have given them the touchdown because it's like, well, it's a dead ball spot at the where you caught the
Yes.
ball type
And
of
there was
thing.
like 2 seconds left on the clock at that point in time because they were just
Exactly.
chucking something up. So, like I said, they got I believe they got it right, but it is what it is. Anything else
Yeah.
you noticed that picked up that caught your eye this week, or is that
Just
it?
a great slate of games this weekend. I mean, and having some Saturday games too mixed into the mix here was kind of nice watching the Bears and Packers game last night, going into overtime.
Yeah, see, it was just
There's times where Caleb Williams just looks like a second year player, and then there's times like that last throw to Moore where he looks like he's a 10-year vet. So it's like you get both the best of both worlds from Caleb Williams almost every game. Because I mean, they were being outplayed almost all game, and then the offense came back to tie it up to bring it in overtime, and then the overtime win. So I still, like you were saying a few weeks ago, they're probably the worst. At that time they were what 10 and something,
yeah.
team, or 9-5 team or whatever they were. I mean, they still it's they're
I don't
they're
know,
they're
man.
getting things together, but it's like it's just every game. It's like holy crap, how did they pull that off? So yeah,
They're making it really easy to just have they're putting a bunch of medium fries up in the top tier realm.
yes,
We're gonna end up with two of the normal usual suspects, I feel, at the end of the day. But full disclosure. So I spent my day yesterday. I watched the college football in the morning, Texas A&M versus Miami, Florida. That was a great game. And then by 7 o'clock, I wasn't under the weather, so I just went to bed. Like I said, I woke up and I was browsing the scores and stuff, but
yep,
I didn't really watch much of the game. I just caught the highlights, so that's how I knew what happened. But
yeah.
I really wanted to see that game too. Unfortunately for me, being an old man sometimes on the weekends where like it's like 8:30 is pretty late for me on even on like a Saturday. I'm either going to the gym Sunday morning or I'm trying to sleep in and recover. So
Yep.
it's I'm not, it's a young man's game watching these Monday Night Football these days, but
Yes.
we do what we can. And I guess with that being said, we have some time off next week from our regular previous job, so you're gonna catch us. We'll probably be doing Christmas slate of games wrap up
Yep.
slash preview for week 17 coming up this week. So look for that on Friday or Saturday. When me and Mike, we're covering other shows like always on so many shows, so many shows.com. Fallout just came out. We're going to be covering the first two episodes of Fallout. We're shifting gears out of elementary, so many mashups. You can find us. We have multiple things. Or if you want to stick to sports. And we'll be here. NFL, let's go. For Mike, for Pete, for so many shows.com, so many mashups. We'll see you guys for the week 16/17 midweek madness. Later.
Yeah. Exactly. Talk to you on the next one, everybody. Have a great week and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
35 red, 35 red, blue, said I.